First we'll try to chisel the piece off. The thing is, it needs to be in a wedge type of a shape. Obviously, it needs to be able to fit into that hole. So I'm not sure how successful we're going to be at this, but we're going to try to put it on there and angle it. And get my mallet here. Try to put that on there and angle it just a hair. I need to be able to preserve as much of this wood as possible. Let's see how well this comes out though. It's a bit of an angle. Yeah, that didn't turn out too well. How much do we need? Oh, actually, never mind. That might just work. Maybe trim off the tip of this here. Use a paring chisel to do it. Just need a little bit more of an angle there. Let me check this off camera. Hey, 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 that is looking promising. Okay, we're gonna, actually let's pull the camera in a little bit more. All right, you should be able to see what I'm trying to do here. This is the slot right here. I double check that. I'll show you what we're trying to do here. So this is that little slot that we're trying to fill, and that chip, that looks pretty decent. If anything, I want to make this just a little bit more flat. Without cutting my finger. Okay, let's see what that gives us. That's not bad. Now we need to get it to the right length, or the right width, I should say. And it looks about right, to be about right there. Okay. Cover it. I think that covers it pretty doggone good. Let's put some wood glue in there. We'll just give it a little tap. I don't need to wedge it really hard, but I do want to get it in there. Let's clean off this excess here. And we'll saw that off. Hopefully I can do it for the camera here. Would you look at that? Wow. Wow. it's like almost just completely gone. I'm impressed. That works very well. The tricky part's going to be on pieces like this where I've got something going this way. Actually, I should say going this way and going this way. I'm probably going to have to cut a bigger block using this. I'll film that when I get to it, but I do want to fill in some of these other holes too. So. Pulling in for a better look, I see that it was trying to go out of focus a couple times there, and I can't go back in time. So this was that piece. So I mean, it feels flush. It's actually beautiful. I mean, there's just, you can't tell it as a separate piece. You can tell that something's there. But you know, maybe this will all sand out. We'll see how it blends out. But that does look very nice. I like it a lot. So we've got quite a few other pieces to go. I'm going to do these small ones. The challenge will be when it comes to pieces like this, because it's, as you can see, it's a crack that goes through, or it's not a crack, it's a gap that goes both end grain and edge grain, and so I've got to be able to fill that whole piece there. I'll probably end up using this here in order to do so, and have to cut it by hand, obviously. So far that trick is working really nice. It's very, very nice. I think what we'll do for some of these is we'll try using some wood filler. But these larger gaps, like this one right here, we're gonna, I'm already in the process of sawing off a little piece right here, and we'll put that one in here, and we'll see how well that does. We're gonna have to do another one down here as well. But let's finish sawing this one and see what we get. Let's see what that looks like on film. A little bit wide, or a little bit thick, I should say, not wide. It's okay. Where's our sanding block? Sand on the fingernails while we're at it. Yeah, I might have to try just trimming that. Where's my bigger chisel? This is tricky because it's not a wedge. It's not like, it's not beveled, it's straight on down. So I don't want to go too thin. If you're trying to follow me along, I'm showing you what not to do. I shouldn't be in this situation. That would have just, again, as I've been keep on saying, that would just sound better. So it gets thinner as we go out here. Okay, a little bit more on that. That, because remember this is going to go down into there, so let's make sure that it does. Okay, so it does fit good there. So we're a little bit wide right about right here, so the middle part of this. Let's take care of that a little bit. Let's use the smaller chisel for that. Oh, snap. See, no. Hey. Hey. Let's mark what we think is going to be the top. Let's just put a little. We believe this is the top, and this is going to be the outside. We'll leave that bare open there. That way we know. So that should fit. We need to make this middle part thinner. Let's do that. Oh no. Well, I made it thinner. So it is just a little bit, still a little bit wide right here. So let's try doing it, because I'm putting a lot of pressure on the bottom there. Let's just do this. I need to be doing this without slicing the finger open. You know, just a hair more. Okay, so it's just wide right there. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough to fit just right. Let's put some white glue on there and wedge it on in and see what we get. Oh, good thing we marked it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if we're going to have a gap from that piece that chunked out there, but we'll find out here. If anything, I'd rather cover that up though. So let's cut it this way. And it looks like we might just be okay. Let's see how deep this is. I'm going to go on that end grain there on the sidewall. Look at that. I'd say that turned out pretty doggone good. You can see it on this side, but this is either going to be the top or the bottom. I don't know. I still got to flush it up. But I mean, that just, I don't know. I'm very happy with this technique. Like I said, some of them I'm going to have to use wood filler for, like these here. I want to try that too. The sawdust worked pretty good. I mean, we also filled in some of those with the little chip pieces. But wow, it's looking good. we're almost there, and I want to get on to the inlays here. I don't know if I'm going to have time in this day, but all right, well, I'll press on with filling in the rest of these gaps, and then we'll go ahead and we'll flush everything up. I'll show you that. So what I'm doing here is I'm using some wood filler. It's maple, beech, ash, and pine. I mean, here's pine, for instance, compared to that. That looks like pine. It's pretty darn close. But obviously there isn't anything for yellow heart. So we need to add some yellow dye. This is Mix All. It's made to go with the wood filler, to be used in conjunction with it. So hopefully we can get something that's close to this end grain. You can see I tried that Timbermate. I tried just the regular, and it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. It's not the same color. It just needs to be a little bit more yellow in there. This here might work. So where we have these gaps, we're gonna just fill these in. I'm not gonna completely level them off because this sands pretty decently. It's not like wood glue where you really got to put a lot of effort into sanding if you don't remove the excess. So just want to get anywhere where there's gaps. I'm not too worried about covering up the end grain itself. In fact, if it even soaks into that, maybe it'll look all right. So we'll see how that pans out. Get rid of these here. So we got these gaps here. All right, we're going to let that dry. We'll sand it. We'll see what this looks like, and if we like it, we'll do the rest of it. Wish me luck on that. All right, it's been 20 minutes and feels pretty dry. Let's see what this looks like. Well, it fills the gaps, and it looks like I may have went too light. But I do like the result. But overall, that's not bad. Let me pull you in a little closer. There's still more sanding to do, but that's not. That's not too terribly bad. Keep in mind when you put the coating on it, everything's going to go darker anyway. So while this is drying, I went ahead and just I cut out one of those diamond patterns, and I took some Elmer's glue and just glue stick and just glued that on there. We just use the Japanese bandsaw here, and we'll cut this piece off. For those that don't know, ironwood only grows in the Sonoran Desert here in Arizona, and It's a very hard wood, very stinky, by the way. You cannot, it's illegal to harvest a live tree. I got my hands on a couple blocks. This is just one of them. I think actually this is a cut off piece of this, but it is extremely hard, extremely dense wood. That is very heavy, and they charge by the pound, and you can't get them in planks. So you get the biggest pieces you can, and you try to make what you can of them. But anyway, so that's what's also going to make this special, one of a kind. Not just because I made it by hand for my mom, but also because it's got some wood in it that's more than exotic, if you want. I guess you have to call it exotic out of a different country or whatnot. But because we got the yellow heart, that's exotic wood. But one of a kind type thing, and the only way you can get it is what I was told at the woodworker sources. There's an older gentleman somewhere in his 70s who goes out to the desert and he hunts for the trees that are fallen, takes his chainsaw and cuts what he can, takes them home, the pieces, and then he just mills them on his bandsaw. So it's quite a unique story. Anyway, you know what? I think that's dry. Let's see what it looks like. All right, very happy with the results so far. The wood filler, the technique of putting the little wedges in, it all panned out. It just goes to show, definitely don't judge a project until it's done, because this is turning out all right. So that's probably it for this episode. I did end up sanding it to 120 all the way around. That's obviously not the final sanding. For where the top is going to go, it doesn't really matter, because it's going to be glued on. So I rounded the corners or the edges just a little bit, just so that they're smooth and they're not like sharp. Figured if I have the 120, why not get it knocked out right then? Although when I go to glue the top on, I'll still have to round it over. So the next step will be the next video, because that's it, like I said, for this episode, will be putting inlays in. This will be an interesting technique, so we'll see how that pans out. I don't know if I'm going to use this side or this side. That's got a lot more sapwood in it. Probably this side. But anyway, let's do that.